What's he gonna do? Call the cops? That's what Braden actually said, standing in my driveway with a traffic cone blocking my own car, flashing some joke store badge in the streetlight like he's really out here enforcing the law. All over a bogus $79 fine for my mailbox thanks to HOA dictator Vivian. The audacity was unreal, man. Grown adults playing dress-up cop on my property just because Vivian decided my mailbox violated some imaginary aesthetic. I mean, they really picked the wrong target. Braden was flexing his authority. Meanwhile, my own badge, a real one, sat quietly in my jacket, just promoted to chief 6 months back. For someone who investigates criminal conspiracies for a living, watching this whole circus unfold was like Christmas morning. So here's your setup, and I want to hear what you'd do if a fake cop blocked your driveway. Because you're about to hear the wildest HOA takedown you could imagine. Let me back up a sec. Lay it out straight. My name's Marcus Rivera. 20 years on the force. Started as a beat cop, worked my way up through detective, then landed chief of police in Millbrook Heights just last year. Good department, quiet suburb. Most folks think I'm some blue-collar contractor because I'm always coming and going at weird hours looking beat to hell after long shifts. I moved out here to Pine Grove Estates after my wife Sarah passed, needed some peace for my daughter Sophia. She was 16, dealing with a lot, needed stability and decent schools, you know. Place isn't fancy, but you can smell that fresh mulch every spring, hear the sprinklers at dawn and kids playing in the backyards. The only real drama used to be whose turn it was to host book club. Then there's Vivian Whitmore. Picture every HOA horror story you've heard, mix them all together, slap on a real estate license and a white BMW with a blessed vanity plate. And that's her. 8 years as HOA president, like some tiny Napoleon in a blazer that crinkles when she gestures, which she does a lot. Real estate agent by day, neighborhood dictator by night. 3 months ago, I had a pothole patched. Contractor did it. Legal. City permits, receipts, everything. The patch was half a shade darker than the old driveway. Vivian didn't even have to squint. Boom, $79 fine for unauthorized driveway material disrupting community visual harmony. I submitted all the paperwork, tried to appeal. No dice. Her yard looks like a Home Depot exploded, but my patch is apparently a crime. I just paid it, call it the crazy tax, because I had bigger things on my plate. But let me tell you what I learned in 2 decades as a cop. Bullies smell weakness a mile off. Didn't take long for her to come sniffing again. A couple weeks later, Sophia forgets to bring in the garbage cans 30 minutes past pickup. That's it. Next thing I know, another certified letter 150 this time, doubled for repeat offenses with a warning about enhanced enforcement measures. I'm standing there in my wrinkled uniform after a 14-hour shift dealing with real criminals, and this woman is threatening me over trash cans. You know what I mean. I've arrested murderers who are easier to reason with. Next Saturday, 7 a.m. Sharp. I'm just enjoying my first coffee when I hear voices outside. I look out and here comes Vivian, clipboard and measuring tape, dragging along this kid I've never seen wearing what's basically a security guard uniform from Amazon, fake badge and all attitude dialed up to 11. Name tag says B. Hutchkins, enforcement officer. He's strutting like he's guarding the nuclear codes. Vivian launches right in, Mr. Rivera. We're conducting a compliance inspection. Your postal receptacle is 2 inches too close to the street boundary. She's pointing at my mailbox like it's radioactive. 2 inches. That's a $300 fine, 48 hours to fix it. I sip my coffee, try to keep from laughing. That box was put in by the previous owner 5 years ago. Recent bylaw amendments supersede grandfathered installations. She snaps, and Braden nods like she's quoting scripture. I decide to test her. Maybe I'll research grandfather clause provisions in the original covenant just to be sure we're following the rules. Her eye twitches. 20 years of reading suspects, I can see when someone's worried. That's when Braden chimes in. Sir, we don't need your permission to enforce community standards. We have full legal authority here. This kid probably learned law enforcement from Grand Theft Auto. I ask, what kind of training did you get? He goes red mutters about a comprehensive security certification program online. Of course. Vivian jumps in all proper channels and board approval. I ask for minutes from the board meeting, employment contracts, public records, just being thorough. Silence. That's when you know they're hiding something. I pull out my phone. Let me record this for documentation. Instant reaction. Vivian backs off fast, says it's not necessary, says I'll get everything in the mail. Then they start daily inspections and Braden snapping photos of my house car, even the windows. It's all so clumsy, it'd be funny if it wasn't creepy. 2 days later, after a long shift, city water department calls about a complaint. Supposedly, my sprinkler system violates drought restrictions. Joke's on them, I only have a garden hose. Meanwhile, Vivian is working the neighborhood telling folks there's suspicious activity at my house. Unmarked cars, men in plain clothes makes people nervous. Most don't know I'm a cop, so suddenly I'm a suspected drug dealer. That's when I realize this isn't just about me. Sophia comes home in tears, says kids at school are asking if her dad's a criminal. I've had enough. I show up at the next HOA board meeting phone, quietly recording. The whole room stinks of burnt coffee and fear. During the treasurer's report, I catch Vivian's husband Rick owing $12 grand in assessments. His name magically disappears from the list, while single moms and old folks get hammered for small stuff. Patterns start to jump out. This isn't petty. This is targeted. Next day, Vivian serves a $500 security assessment on me. Says my job requires extra protection for the community. She spins a tale about unmarked cars, late-night meetings, how I'm a threat to property values. Braden's outside taking more photos. I sign the notice, tell her I'll have the check ready by Friday. She thinks she's won, but she just handed me the evidence I need for a criminal case. Friday morning, I get a manila envelope with a special security assessment claims. I owe $500 for enhanced monitoring protocols due to undisclosed commercial activities. She's running an extortion racket, and it's only getting bolder. Braden escalates to stalking Sophia at school, camera in hand, and now other parents are asking questions. That's the line, nobody messes with my kid. I dig in. Next door posts coded dog whistles about outside influences. Public records, 6 families forced to sell below market after harassment. Patterns clear. Mrs. Patterson fills in the details, tells me how the Hendersons, a black family, got fined for everything and run out of town. Garcia's Latino, same story. Then, the twist. Rick corners me in the grocery lot, offers to make my problems disappear for $2 grand cash. Starts bragging, talking demographics, extortion, discrimination. I'm recording every word. Later that week, Sophia texts me Braden's photographing students at school, full telephoto lens. I confront him. Afternoon, Braden. Wildlife photography. He panics, says he's conducting authorized patrols. I let the silence hang, ask what most folks would call an adult photographing minors with a telephoto lens. He crumbles, and I get the whole thing on video. Now here's the second big twist. I go down to the county clerk's office, check the HOA's paperwork. Turns out Pine Grove Estates HOA was dissolved 3 years ago. No legal authority, nothing. Vivian's been running a phantom corporation issuing fines and collecting fees, 37 grand stolen since dissolution. This isn't overzealous enforcement, it's straight up fraud, and every scare tactic is now a criminal act. With evidence in hand, I call my best detective and the DA. We coordinate a takedown. Mrs. Patterson, it turns out, is a record-keeping genius. She's got years of letters, fines, photos, even a spreadsheet of discrimination patterns. Sophia's friends hand over more evidence documenting Braden's stalking. We assemble the case: fraud, civil rights violations, extortion. Vivian, sensing she's losing grip, sends an emergency $3,000 assessment to every house to fund legal action against me. The neighborhood revolts. Next door explodes. People demand transparency. The tides have turned. The grand finale. Vivian calls a community meeting full public spectacle. She thinks she'll finally drive me out. Instead, the room's packed media's watching and my badge is ready in my pocket. Vivian launches into a PowerPoint of evidence against me, photos, charts, all fiction. I stand up, ask her to prove the HOA's authority. She can't. I lay out the facts, set my badge on the podium, and read her Miranda rights in front of the whole crowd. You could hear a pin drop as the truth sinks in. Vivian and Braden get arrested on the spot. Turns out the fraud ran deeper than anyone realized, over 40 grand stolen from families. That night, the story goes viral, America cheering a chief who let the bully hang herself with her own rope. The aftermath. Mrs. Patterson gets elected HOA president, abolishes most fines, and turns those orange traffic cones into planters. Kids play in the street again. Neighbors help each other instead of snitching. We launch an anti-fraud initiative so nobody else gets conned. And the best part, 3 other fake HOAs get busted after folks check their own paperwork. Sometimes the sweetest justice is just living. Well, knowing you stood up for your family and your neighbors and making sure the bullies pay in public. So what do you think? Was I right to wait and let them dig their own grave, or should I have blown it up sooner? Drop your own HOA nightmares in the comments, because trust me, I read every single one, and I've got plenty more stories where that came from. Justice never tasted so sweet.